A few years ago in Nigeria, I would probably not publicly be sitting with you like this.
And people who are hurting others are themselves hurt deep inside. Those who are causing misery to others are miserable themselves. Many times I find in the world underdeveloped countries or developing countries, there is low self-esteem among the youth.
Gurudev Shri Ravi Shankar, let me on behalf of over 200 million Nigerians formally welcome you to Nigeria.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
They say every nation has a rhythm or has its own vibration. Since you came in, what have you been picking? What's the vibration of Nigeria?
Very good. Very resilient. And I feel very much at home here.
What's the personal toll on you? I mean, how do you navigate through life on a daily basis?
Oh yeah, I sleep 3-4 hours, and the rest of the time my life is for the world and for the people of the planet. But you know, any country I went, I always felt I belonged to that country. I never felt any barrier between uh, any nationality, religion, or race. Nothing. I felt everyone is part of me and belongs to me.
When you go to local places, do you eat their local food?
Oh yeah,
What did you eat?
vegetarian.
Oh,
Anything vegetarian.
So can you eat rice?
Oh yeah, rice is our staple food.
So I must make sure I tell your team for you to eat jollof rice, Nigerian jollof rice.
Oh,
so you can. So if somebody asks you, have you been to Nigeria? You say yes. The next thing they will ask you is if you've had plantain, Nigerian plantain. We call it dodo. Or jollof rice. It's really.
I am yet to discover all the fruits and vegetables this continent has. You know, I was in South America recently, and I found out in Brasilia and also in Bolivia, they have 3,000 varieties of potatoes. You imagine 3,000 varieties of potatoes. So the world is full of diversity, fauna and flora.
That's the wealth of
That's the beauty of the world. But some people don't understand that. They just want to narrow everything down, and they can't tolerate diversity. That thing that we have to take care in society. People don't become fanatics. And whether it's religious fanaticism or any other type of fanaticism.
I'm 61 years old, and until 4 or 5 days ago, I'd never truly meditated, And for me, trying it, the experience was just amazing. By the second day, I was in a different space, and I left here, went for a meeting, and the meeting really got chaotic. But I was just so calm, and it was, and everybody, and that's the beautiful thing. Everybody noticed it, and they're like, "You don't seem worried," and I'm like, "Well, because I rather we focus on what the next steps would be. How can we make people see how powerful meditation and breathing right is?"
You know, when I started 41 years ago, there was so much prejudice, there was so much resistance for breathing and meditation and all that. I said, that's not for normal mainstream people. That's for people out there. That sort of concept was there. But today, you'd be surprised to hear almost 1/3 of world's population are doing and are getting benefited. And when you share your experience, and many would say, "Oh yeah, I also would like to try it."
A few years ago in Nigeria, I would probably not publicly be sitting with you like this. I would not want people to know that I'm consulting you publicly, because it has been, the quest for inner peace and meditation has been demonized.
No, those days have gone. I would say 20, 30 years ago, the type of prejudice people have today, no. And scientists have proved there are more than 100 benefits that one get by just relaxing and meditating. So your brain functions better, your body functions better, and everyone wants to be free from all the little diseases that they go through. And wellness is the new mantra in the world. And Even all the Fortune 500 companies, they make it part of their, wellness package. So also, we are conducting programs for many corporations around the world.
We build churches, we build places of worship, and the more we build them in the last how many years, the more impoverished we have become.
Buildings could be built, churches could be built, museums are being built, but building people is most essential. Building strong leaders and leadership from the grassroots level has to come up. So I have always focused on building human resources, make very strong individual who is resilient, who have the calmness of mind, who can stand up to any challenges. This is very important. United Nations declared International Day of Yoga. I was there, and the Secretary General of UN at that time, Ban Ki-moon. I led the meditation there. You know what he said? Gurudev, this is needed before every negotiation because it keeps the mind calm. As I said, even Japan, they have about more than 100 members in their 400-member parliament. They practice yoga meditation. They have a room allocated for meditation and yoga. Similarly, there is a hall of silence in the Canadian Parliament, in the American Congress. There is a place where people go and sit and meditate. So we need to, as I said, build human potential.
I totally agree with you. You use the word developed countries. So the world is divided in two sharp divides, developed and undeveloped. What did those developed countries do earlier on in their lives or in their existence that we didn't do? And why are we not developed?
Well, if we ponder on it, there could be many reasons. One is the colonialism. Whenever colonialism has happened, it has really drained the resource of a country. Number one. Second is education system. If our education system is meant only to create, workers but not entrepreneurs and leaders, then also a country cannot develop. And the third thing is corruption. Any country which is clogged with corruption, the progress slows down. So here it is needed that the country's integrity and development of personality, at the same time empowering youth, not just giving freebies, but making them stand on their feet. That is very important. Many times I find in the so-called underdeveloped countries or developing countries, there is low self-esteem among the youth. I want to share with you an incident that happened in India in 1999. When we started our campus, Art of Living campus, just outside Bangalore, there were very poor people all around, and they would live just hand to mouth, and a lot of unemployed youth. So I gathered about 500 unemployed youths in the surrounding villages, and I called the government of Karnataka department, government of India department, to come and present them all small-scale industries, what they can do. So the gentleman came from the government side and he presented about 200 different industries. But the youth heard them all and they rejected all of them. I said, they had reason how this will not work, this will not work, this will. Then I asked them, okay, what is that will work? He said, make me a bus driver, government bus driver or conductor or policeman. Give me a job. This was their request. That is the day I thought, no, I had to do something. So we did a month-long training for them that we call it Youth Leadership Training Program. I tell you, after that program, each one of them became an entrepreneur. And now those persons who are wanting a policeman job, they are able to give job for 200-300 people. So then we multiplied this all over the country. We did some of this YLTP in Ivory Coast, also in South Africa. It became very successful. Because the youth no longer sit and wait for someone else to give them charity or give them a job. Now they got the energy, enthusiasm to be innovative and start a business of their own. If you had come to India a few years back and if you come now, you can see the clear difference. Now the country is full of entrepreneurs and there is flourishing with business everywhere. So this type of, I think training is necessary. Because here I find the youth are very vibrant. They have lot of energy and enthusiasm. If they're channeled, properly, it can give yield a very good result for the whole community as well.
Nigeria today is crying from insecurity. So there is so much fear. It's palpable in the air. Is there any way we can attract that same kind of concerted meditation so that and see how if there's a way we can reduce insecurity and all of that? Because people need to see that these things can happen.
See, it's insecurity which breeds insecurity. People who are creating insecurity are themselves not secure.
True.
And people who are hurting others are themselves hurt deep inside. Those who are causing misery to others are miserable themselves. They are not happy. They may appear to be happy. This will change the whole scenario. And that's what has happened in our experience in last 41 years around the world. So we will have to work with people. I don't condemn anybody. I see there is a good person, a wonderful person hiding inside every criminal also. That simply he needs to be brought out. So if you see through my eyes, I see only very good people all over. Just misguided, misled or hurt or wounded. They just need some healing touch and the world can become a better place.
I've read about your work in Colombia and even Ivory Coast. I'm just hoping that you can do some work with Boko Haram and all kinds of agitation that we have in Nigeria.
I would love to do
at some point in your journey. It's on that note that I'd like to say thank you very much for indulging us for this little chat, and we hope that you will visit us again and experience our cultures and the hospitality of the Nigerian people even more.
Thank you. And I would like to invite you to come to India too. And everyone,
November,
please do come.
I'll be there.
Okay?
Thank you.
Lovely. Thank you. Namaste.